Welcome back to our podcast where we talk about retiring in Nicaragua and our love of Nicaragua and the culture and the people and the places. So today, I wanted to share with you some video I recorded when I took a little visit to a place called Catarina in Los Pueblos Blancos, which is just south of Managua, the capital. So I took just a taxi there. It was from Granada. It was about like a 20-minute drive and cost me about like $5. So very cheap, very easy to get around. And it's a beautiful spot right beside the lake. And so I wanted to share it with you. And my dad, this is the first time he's seeing it. So we're just going to walk through and talk about it. And yeah, okay, let's kick it off. So this is me just arriving to the area of Catarina, or Catalina, sorry, in Los Pueblos Blancos.
Yeah, there's a chicken bus. They're all over Central America. When our schools run them into the ground and sell them, they buy them, and they're their public transportation system.
Yeah, and the country's so small that, you know, your longest trip on here might be like an hour. It's very nice to get around.
Did you just ask them where you can buy your drugs?
No. Let's see. Yeah, so Catalina is just south of Managua. I came from Granada, where I was living at the time, and it's about a 20-minute drive and cost me like $4 or $5 in a taxi to get there. So
what's the idea of the water tanks on the roof?
Yeah. So that's to like store water. Obviously, they don't have like wells typically like we have.
Yeah.
It's to store their water and heat it up too in the sunlight. So yeah, and there's just places like it's just filled with these little kind of souvenir shops.
This stuff is all handmade. It's not like brought over from China or anything. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I think we have a couple blankets we got from down there, and
yeah.
They're hoping you'll buy something.
Yeah. And, you know, you always feel bad because you want to support the local culture, but you can't buy something from everybody. No. But typically, like most things in here, you do have to haggle over. They'll try to get like $15 or $20, but really they'll take like $5 for anything
right
in there.
There's the dolls back there. Maybe I'll start a collection of
that would be
Nicaraguan dolls
right here. Put them up. I love the masks. I collect the masks from all the countries I go to, and I have my Guatemala one up here, and didn't find one I loved enough from Nicaragua yet. I'm still looking for the special one.
Just like the United States.
Hey, you can see all the masks.
All the gift shops. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like the horse down right at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I ended up not.
No.
Yeah.
Me gusta esto, pero necesito mirar más primero. Gracias.
Your voice sounds different.
Yeah. It's the Nicaraguan fresh air.
Yeah. And it's so beautiful.
Yeah. And so you see a sign down there for Tonya. That's like one of the local beers.
Ooh, look, you were going to run into
I know. I was trying to like, which way do I go?
Yeah.
But so these restaurants are like upscale. This is a place where people would come for a nice night out.
Yeah.
So they're going to be closer to U.S. prices. They're not like the small mom and pop places.
Oh, that's a nice lookout. What's the lake again? Which lake is this?
This is I don't remember.
No problem. Nicaragua has so many lakes. Actually, it is the country that has that. Most other Central American countries don't have, well, no other Central American country has that kind of resource.
Yeah, so this is a crater lake, though. It's obvious to tell. And you see off to the left, there's that like spot where you could have gone down. All through here, these dirt paths, they'll actually, and we'll probably see them. They'll
Take
actually
them to the shore.
They'll. It does lead all the way down. It's a pretty far walk, but they'll have horses, people with horses that you can ride. You pay to ride the horses down. Yeah.
Well, I'm not in like the tip-top physical condition, and I remember hiking up one of the volcanoes, and the guys and the horses kept following me saying, "Come on, get on the horse. You want to get on the horse. You don't want to walk." And I'm like, "No, leave me alone. I'm walking." But they were hoping I'd give in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's live music everywhere. It's very pretty.
I just like that it's so kind of unfinished compared to, the US. It just looks so much more, I don't know, rustic, real. And off in the distance, another old volcano.
Yeah.
¿Quieres un foto? ¿Quieres?
You have a lot more hair on your arm than I remember. I run with their camera.
Yeah.
Oh. The screen looks a little messed up. That was nice.
I was actually
Ryan.
stealing her credit card information while I was on there.
Yeah. Now you should just go over and kiss her right away. Take her in your arms and kiss her. Oh, that's nice. They're taking a picture of you.
Yeah. It was a trade-off. I wanted a picture for me too.
Good. Is that your camera?
That's my phone, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're using the GoPro, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I have such a tough time with all this technology.
Yeah. And so along here, you'll see that they sell like ice cream or like Italian ice sort of things.
What was the temperature?
Oh, this was perfect. I think this was like mid 70s, so hot enough where you don't need long pants or long sleeves, but had a nice breeze going, especially up there so high.
So was that stone wall like built, or that's just part of the rock they carved out?
I think it's built in. Yeah, it seemed like old but built in. Yeah.
Yeah, when you think about how the Spanish Empire settled Central America, they really did build inland because it avoided, any kind of storms, and it also was cooler in the mountains, and it protected you from enemies. If they came to invade, they'd have to get through a lot to get to you.
Yeah. It's a beautiful country, and Nicaragua was a lot easier than Guatemala, but man, I would have hated having to trek through the wild areas on foot.
Yeah.
That would be really tough.
Yeah.
There's some between the volcanoes and mountains.
Remember when we were backpacking in Central America, they had the locals that were coming up the hill.
Yeah.
And they had the firewood with a leather strap, and the strap they wrapped around their forehead to carry it.
Yeah.
And they were moving so fast up the hill, and they were older people, in their 50s, 60s.
Yeah. And
we were taking our time going down the side,
and sometimes even barefoot. They wouldn't. They would just be making their rounds from down to the town up to their home again. Yeah. So when I was in Nepal, the one backpacking trip I did, I was stuck on a little path, and it was the similar kind of idea, but it was like a sheep herder or goats. I think it was goats, or he was bringing all these goats up this very, very narrow mountain path, like 4 feet across. And my guide pulled me off to the side, And I was expecting that, like, we're gonna have to step aside for these goats, but he pulled me off the side where the cliff dropped off.
And you're like, what?
So the
goats are safe, but you're on the edge.
I know, exactly. I was like, I'm gonna take a goat with me. I bet
to the Nepalis, the goat was probably more valuable than you were.
Yeah.
I really love the idea, of how walking is so easy and so much more encouraged in Nicaragua than I feel like it is
there's
here.
There's a jack-o'-lantern shirt. It just goes to show how ingrained U.S. holidays even are there. And so to the right, there's actually houses that you could buy. I think they're nice. They're a little bit pricey. This is a nice area that high demand.
Pricey by Nicaraguan standards.
Yes. Like the cost of a house in probably like the Northeast or something.
Yep.
But so this is me walking around the square a little bit more.
In the square where?
In the square in Catalina.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people out.
Yeah.
Was this like what time of the week was this?
This was I think a Saturday. No, a Friday evening. But it was coming up to a holiday for them. One of their Independence Day. Actually, their Independence Day from William Walker, who is a U.S. person.
We'll do a whole video on that.
It's so interesting. Never heard of him, but everybody knows him there.
And what time of the day does the sun go down?
Like 8, I think.
Wow.
I think here.
Yeah. We're in that time period right now up in the Northeast here that the sun starts, it gets dark by like 5.
Yeah. Feels like you have 4 hours of daylight.
Yeah. It's kind of depressing, frankly. It bothers me.
Yeah, so you have more fashion stores on the right there, and those are like more upscale. But some deals though too. Yeah, and so there's the parking to the left where everybody can come in, and it is a fee to get in and out, which surprised me a little bit.
Really?
Even walking,
really?
Yeah, you need a ticket to get in and out, but it's worth it though. I mean, it's like $1.
Do you see any armed guards around and stuff like that?
No, nobody's worried about that.
It's so safe in Nicaragua.
Yeah, nobody's worried about that. The only time I ever heard of something, I was at a restaurant one time, and there were like some drunk guys really late at night who got into a skirmish and
skirmish.
Skirmish.
Yes.
Skirmish. And the bartender just said, "Hey, get out."
Yeah.
And that was the end of it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, in Guatemala, they have a lot of American restaurants like they do in Nicaragua. And I remember one of the things that surprised me the most was Little Caesars was there.
Yeah.
And there was an armed guard with a shotgun standing
guarding
in
Little
front
Caesars,
every time I would go by.
Yeah.
So,
Guatemala looked
that's a different, that's a different scene.
Guatemala, I always felt pretty safe, but it did look like a Call of Duty map every once in a while, because they have these, the armed guards carry big shotguns.
Yeah.
And so, it's just as deadly as a pistol, really, but like it looks a lot scarier.
Well, and it's funny because their guns were like rubbed, they were obviously had been well worn. The blue was rubbed off the guns and stuff. But and I'm wondering if they fired it, would it work? I don't know.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of it, nevertheless.
Yeah.
Everybody's pretty calm and cool and doing their thing. I like that.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite aspects of living abroad, is just getting a cup of coffee somewhere or walking around and just people watching.
Yeah.